Hi, everybody. This is Shirley from Shirley's World, and it's the day after Christmas. I'm trying to avoid going to town because, of course, the day after Christmas is a huge shopping time. People go to stores to get all kinds of sales. So I'm trying to avoid going to the grocery store, which shouldn't be too bad, till later this afternoon. I'm just going to Aldi's and then I have to get gas. So I think I'll be all right if I go later. I never shop on Black Friday and I never shop the day after Christmas. It's just crazy out there. These started out being 8 things I've learned not to do. And I kept thinking of more things. So now it's up to 14 things that I've learned in the past 3 years of selling full-time, or not full-time, but selling a lot more than I was selling. I used to sell as just a hobby, and now I'm trying to actually make money doing this. So for the last 3 years, I've learned about these things by making the mistakes myself. So here we go. Number 1, when I first started, I just printed out, I didn't print out labels, I wrote out labels. Went to the post office and paid the full postal fee to ship. Well, I soon learned that you can save tons of money by printing out your labels on eBay. They give you a break on postage. So be sure that you print your labels out on eBay, your mailing labels. Number 2, the importance of a good first photo. Good lighting. That first photo, sometimes people don't even go beyond that first photo. I mean, all your photos would be nice to be really good, but that first photo, especially since now people are buying a lot just from their phone, and they go on and they look at one photo and then go through all the others real fast. So that first photo is really important. So make sure that that first photo is a full screen photo of what you're selling. It should be just the front on photo, and good lighting. I'm still dealing with this because I can't seem to get that white background, and my lighting is wrong. And I have a daughter who's a photographer, and she has showed me or told me how to do it. I have yet to go up there and move around everything because the room where I photograph is so small. I don't have room between the backdrop, which is white, and the camera, which is me and my iPhone. And it looks, the white background always looks gray. So I have to put some lighting on the background and then less lighting on the subject. But I have to move things around and do that, yeah. Okay, number 3. Mistakes when you're buying. You really make your money when you buy, not when you sell. You have to buy. You have to be picky when you buy. Not catching damage is a big thing. I am guilty of this. I throw things in a basket, and what you should do then is go someplace, especially if you're like in a Goodwill store, in the regular thrift store. You can find a couch to sit down on and actually go through the items before you go to the cash register and look them over good. Because a lot of times I don't find the damage or the little hole or whatever until I'm photographing the object. And then I either don't list it, or you have to list it, of course, describe the damage, and then your chance of selling goes way down if your item is damaged. So be sure to check your things over before you hit the cash register. I don't know if that was 3 or 4. That was 3. Number 4, keeping good records. I didn't do this at all when I first started, and tax time was a nightmare. So I now use QuickBooks, and I have a QuickBooks person that helps me do that. And she is going to eventually be my CPA accountant. Right now I'm using my tax guy for my accountant. But if you keep good records, it's much less of a headache when April comes around. So keeping good records, having a good good storage, good place for your inventory, that's a whole other story. And keeping good records. Always be learning. Now this is number 5. Always be learning new brands. New brands and new trends, especially in the clothing, when you're selling clothing. Know what's selling. There's always new brands coming out, and there's always new trends in fashion. So you do have to sort of keep up with that. Because what was in a year ago could not sell at all this year. So you have to sort of keep up with that. Number 6, learn a new niche. If you just sell women's clothes, try some men's clothes, or try some children's clothes, or try some other soft goods. Or I am going to start to try, and I have started a little bit, on some hard goods. Now, start with something that you know something about. I used to own an antique shop. I know I can spot some collectibles, and but as far as going into electronics and things, I would have to do a whole lot of studying to get good at that. So start slow and add a new niche. Don't just sell one thing. Okay, number 7, take inventory. Everybody hates to do this. I think I talked about this in my last video. Right now, I'm in the process of going through my entire inventory to make sure everything that I have in all these bins, all the hanging things upstairs, and all the things in that room on shelves, and all the shoes are actually listed on eBay to sell. Because you could have bins full of things that aren't listed, and it's just taking up room in your house, and it's not going to ever sell. It's not listed. So you do have to do an inventory once in a while. I hate to say this, but in 3 years, I have never done a full inventory. So this year, I am doing it. I have started. I'm going to do 1 or 2 bins a day. And so far, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've done 6 bins so far. I don't have a count of the number of bins I have, but it's probably, I have at least 30 or 40 bins. I have no idea. I never counted them for some reason. But then I have racks of 2 big racks of shoes, and I have 2 rooms of hanging items upstairs. So anyway, that's, you have to take an inventory once in a while to make sure things are listed that you have. Okay, number 8, be careful with the good till canceled. If you have everything on good till cancel, it's okay, except if you just put it in good till canceled and forget about it, it needs to be updated. You need to go through a certain amount of listings every day and just sort of tweak them, maybe change the price a little bit, or make sure the title has good keywords in it. Just sort of tweak your listings. And if you do a few of those every day, that helps in the search. They come up in the search, because if you just put them on good till canceled and you never touch them again, they go further and further and further down in the search. And so I'm actually in the process of changing all my good till canceled back to 30-day listings, because that forces you to tweak them and to relist them. So, okay. Number 9, protect your feedback. No matter how nasty a buyer could get with their little comments to you, it's not personal. Take it as a chance to make them feel better about themselves. Just smile and be nice, no matter how hard it is, because you could have a buyer that's quite upset and you could turn them right around so that they give you fantastic feedback. And I've had it happen. So protect your feedback, especially in the beginning when you're a new seller and you have just very little feedback. If you only have like under 100 feedbacks, if you get one bad feedback, one negative feedback, that really just upsets the whole balance in the percentage of your feedback, and it could put you way down in your how you're rated as a seller. So make sure that you protect your feedback. Let's see, number 10. When you're listing, make sure you list the item, all the flaws in the item, because for sure, if you decide to just forget about one tiny little dot on an item, you can make sure that buyer is going to, after that buyer gets the item, you can make sure that buyer is going to send you a note about wanting to send the item back because it was not as described, because you didn't tell them about this little spot. So then that means you have to refund their money and you have to pay shipping back. So make sure you fully describe your items. If there's any flaws, just put it on there. A lot of times it doesn't matter. They'll still buy the item. So fully describe. Number 11, before accepting a best offer, which you should have on all your items, as irritating as it is to get lowball offers, I hate that. I wish they had never started the best offer thing, but they do have it, and people like to try to get things cheaper, of course. So before you accept a best offer, go back and look at the listing and make sure you haven't put free shipping on there, which would matter if you're going to, you don't want to sell something where you're going to sell it at a loss for yourself, because you're going to be paying the shipping. So make sure you go back and check the listing first. The thing that another thing I hate is about best offer is if I have a big sale, say if I put things on a 30% sale, now they're already marked down 30%. Now somebody offers me a real low ball offer. Now there's a huge difference between that low ball offer and not just the knockdown price, but the original price that you would have liked to get for it. So you don't have to accept offers. You can decline, or you can keep countering them. I think they get 4 chances. They get 4 counter offers. I have declined a couple offers that were so low ball, and they'd come up by 50 cents or whatever. So don't be afraid to do that. You don't even have to actually answer, but it's always good to counter offer because you never know. They could just be trying it once and then they'll pay whatever you counter them with. So I've had that happen quite a bit. Okay, number 12. When you're out buying, and you do this when you're buying, in your head, figure the fees that you're going to pay, how much the item is going to cost you, and if you're going to pay shipping, if you're going to put free shipping, because there's some items I will put free shipping on if they're real lightweight and the shipping's not going to cost, it's going to be first class and it's not going to cost much at all. Or another reason I would put free shipping is something is going to sell for a lot of money. And if I feel I can get a lot of money for something, I will put another enticement of free shipping on it. So it will go for that good amount of money. Especially if I don't do this on really heavy items, but I sell mostly clothes and small items. I mean, I don't have any 30-pound items. I would never do free shipping on that. But you have to, when you're buying, you figure in those three things for sure. Because there's an eBay fee, there's a PayPal fee, which should come up to approximately 15% of your selling price. The cost of your goods, you have to take off of that, and if you're going to do shipping. All right, number 13. Before you list an item, even before you buy, I won't buy an item where I see this is going to be a pain to ship. I mean, a real pain that I don't even know how I would ship it. But especially when you're listing an item, before you list it, make sure you have a box for it or you know how you're going to ship it. Because sure as anything, if you list an item that you're not ready to ship it, that item will sell in a day. Now you have to scramble around and find a box. Now I keep tons of boxes. I get the free priority shipping boxes. I have every kind of box there is. But sometimes something isn't going to go priority. It's going to go parcel or whatever. And you have to find a regular box that you can use. And this thing is maybe really a strange shape that you have to sort of Frankenstein these boxes together to ship it. So know how you're going to ship the item before you list it. It'll make your life so much easier. Okay, number 14. Be careful with certain names of certain items or names of things that you put in your listing. They're called Vero items, V-E-R-O. There's a list. You can go on eBay or online and find out a list of Vero items to be careful of. And I'll just tell you a few because there's huge lists of them. But there's certain companies that will really take action against you if you use these names in your listings. So one that everybody knows about is Velcro. Don't say Velcro, V-E-L-C-R. Do not put Velcro any place in your listing. Call it hook and loop. Hook and loop. People know what that is by now. And they will come after you and sue you. So do not use Velcro. Another one is, who would think, onesie. A onesie, a little baby onesie, you know. You can't call it a onesie because that's owned, I think, by Gerber. You can't use that word, onesie. Otterbox is another one that frowns upon you using that name, Otterbox. Things that are highly counterfeited. I just won't sell purses because of that. Good purses. Coach is particularly one of them that they don't want you selling anything with their name on it, Coach, because there's so many counterfeit Coaches out there, or all kinds of good brand, highly expensive bags and shoes. I thought I had a pair of Nike Jordan shoes that I picked up. I was so afraid to put them on. They're sitting back there. I won't put them on because chances are they're counterfeit. So I'm either have to just give them away to somebody, and I don't know. But be careful. Don't buy that stuff. If you can't list it, just don't buy it. UGG boots is another thing. The UGG, UGG boots. Be careful of those. And another name that you could use easily in a listing, Band-Aid. Band-Aid is a brand. Use bandage. It's a bandage. It's not Band-Aid. Band-Aid is a brand that's protected. So that's just a few of them. But you have to be really careful. You don't want to get suspended from eBay for something that you don't even know about. So it's good to research. Look up lists of Vero items, VERO, for eBay. So those are my 14 items. I'm sure there's a lot more. I have an item. I have something for myself, but this is to do with YouTube. Look at the camera. My camera on my computer is way up there, like I'm looking at you now. Isn't this better than me looking at the screen? But you just automatically look at yourself like this, and now I'm not actually looking at you like now. So I really have to put a big sign on my computer, look here or something. But those are the things that I wanted to tell you about today. Mistakes I've made. I've made all but the Vero. I'm really careful because I did look into that. And I'm really careful of how I list items. And I try not to use those words. But I'm sure there's more I don't know about. So I'm going to close for now and try to get to town and back without getting in the crowds. So bye for now.